with Southern soul singer, Miss Cecily. Cecily, what is your last name?
Wilborn.
Wilborn, Miss
Yep.
Cecily Wilborn. Cecily, can you tell viewers a little bit about yourself and your humble beginnings?
Of course. My name is Cecily Wilborn, little country girl from Arkansas. I started out singing, of course, gospel music like most people in the South do. My dad's a pastor, so shout out to my church in Mariana. I started doing cover songs about 2016. And y'all, I learned everything about music. I already had a country background. I already did a little gospel, dabbled in R&B. But man, when I dived into the blues and I started doing those covers around, I say around 2021, 2022, I got a job at BB King's. I was in school full time to be a music producer. I had
Oh,
put out Southern Man, and Southern Man wasn't a hit yet, but it was picking up. So I had like so much going on at one time. And man, the song that I wrote for my husband, Southern Man, it really kicked all this off, to be honest. Back in the day, I heard an old woman say, ain't nothing like a Southern man. Nothing like a Southern man. With you. And I wasn't aiming for Southern Soul. You know what I mean? Like they picked me. I'm not gonna lie. I do every type of genre of music, even though people call me a Southern Soul singer. And when I tell you they let me do me a Southern Soul, honey, if I did a Southern Soul version of Baby Shark, I believe they jump on it. So shout out to my Southern Soul people for letting me do me.
I love it, and I would listen to it too. So,
Thank you.
what and like you started out doing covers, and I saw your covers. Like, girl, you got some vocals on you. Have you had to pick one of those covers as a
Oh, thank
favorite?
you.
You're welcome. Which one would it be?
That's so hard because I do mashups. I never do one song by itself. That is so hard. I have favorite mashups. I can't even say I have a favorite cover. I
Cover.
think my favorite mashup though would be Love and Happiness by Al Green
Mhm.
and Gnarls Barkley. Crazy. I do those together. You do that in a blues show, then people lose their minds. And I don't know why, but it just happens that way.
That's crazy work. So
Crazy.
you said something. You grew up in Mariana, Arkansas as a PK kid, but interestingly, you weren't sheltered from secular music like most PK kids. Tell us about that dynamics of your upbringing that kind of scoped who you are as an artist today.
I'm glad you asked me that. My dad and my mom, even though they are pastor and first lady, shout out to New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church. My mom and dad are also musicians and music connoisseurs. Like my mama, I don't know if y'all remember the briefcase that you could put your cassette tapes back in the back of the day. My mama had one of those, right? And she's so organized. One row was for R&B, one row was for quartet music, one row was for choir music, one row was for country music. Like, and it was like what depending on what we was doing in the house, that determined what we was listening to. You know what I'm saying? So my mom really put me in the mindset of knowing how to set a mood, I guess.
Okay.
Naturally, she didn't even know she was doing that, but that's really what she was doing. And my dad, being a musician and a singer, he's also an audio engineer. So when I went to school, a lot of the stuff I learned when it came to engineering, I kind of already knew because my dad did it, you know?
Right.
So my dad was the one that was like the perfectionist. When it came to me and my siblings, we had to learn how to do harmonies, like hear harmonies on our own. As kids, we was his background singers, of course. You know how Southern churches are.
Mhm.
Um, my dad and my mom together as a team, they really infused music in me from two different directions. And
Mhm.
it really created a monster. I ain't gonna lie, because I hear things, I see things, I look for certain things, and then when those certain things aren't there, I know how to create them so that it's a full picture.
Facts.
So shout out to my mom and my daddy for making the Kool-Aid baby of music. You hear me?
Okay, big ups, y'all. So I like to say that most brilliant artists come from some sort of chaos. Like we can't just be normal humans at all. We don't start out that way. That's just not how
Girl, don't
we.
start tapping on my shoulder like that. Don't do that. Don't do
So I love a part of your story, a lot of your story, like so much of your story resonates, but just your upbringing, just being off the chain. It didn't matter how great your background was, you were still a teenager to your core. So with
trying
that,
to tell you.
with doing all the things that made you who you who you were, when did you decide that music was something that you wanted to pursue? Because you were doing stuff that I did when I was a teenager, and I still didn't find my way until I became like 30-ish, maybe.
Well, believe it or not, it was just a dream, to
Mhm.
be honest with you, sis. It was just a dream. You know, I graduated from high school pregnant. I walked across the stage, big belly pregnant with my oldest son. Shout out to Bam. Um, I never wanted to quit, even though I knew I had to get a 9 to 5, right?
Right.
And I knew I had responsibilities. I never shied away from them. Like, who said I couldn't do both? I'm a
Facts.
superwoman. My mama juggled everything with 3 kids. Why can't I? Like, that's the attitude I've always had. By the time I decided to go to college, girl, I was on baby number 4. Journey was like 3 years old. And I was just waiting for the opportunity for God to just open the door, no matter what part of my life it came in, whether I was old in age, middle age, a kid. I knew I wanted to do this. And I told God, whenever you open the door, I'm going to do right by it, you know? So I'm just grateful for the opportunity to do what I love to do and take care of my babies.
Look at you now. We make them promises to God and follow through. Period.
Listen, come on with the follow through.
Okay. Now you're actually a songwriter as well, because not many people with strong vocals like yours can write the songs to match the vocals. So what is your creative process? Do you like listen to the music first? Or I know you're a storyteller and you like good stories. So what do you do first?
Girl. First of all, I love you. I love you for knowing me the way you do. I love you. The
Thank
storytelling is where it starts. The
you.
storytelling is where it starts. Most of the songs that you guys love, Red Cup Blues was written without music. Pickup Truck was written without music. Party was written without music. I had a track when I wrote Southern Man. I'm trying to think through my mind the ones that I wrote without music. Like there's so many that the melodies come based on how the song makes me feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the words, the stories, that to me has to come first sometimes. But I ain't gonna lie, there are some songs like Nobody But You. Nobody But You had a track that I wrote too when I got it, and it sounded like the music was just saying nobody but you.
Right,
Like
right.
it's almost like I could see the words when I heard the music. So I do both. It just kind of depends on where I am at the moment. I write while I'm on the road. I could be coming up the road and writing my songs. Man, it just comes to me. I ain't gonna tell you nothing. Anthony Q and I have a remix to his song together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Q I already knew the song. He actually asked me to be a feature on the song because he saw me singing it on my live on Facebook.
Right.
So my husband hits him up and he saw his comment on my live. My husband hit him up, and no joke, the man sent me the track at like 6:30 in the morning. Okay. Child, I rolled over, didn't even brush my teeth. I wrote them lyrics in the bed. Do you hear me?
Okay.
Soon as my feet hit the floor, brushed my teeth, went straight into my studio and sent that track. I was like, let me hurry and get it to him before he changed his mind.
Right. And you did that.
So
Create.
the process is a God-given gift. I can't necessarily give you the recipe or the sauce to it. It's just wherever God put on my heart, I'm gonna say it. A lot of times we have things we want to say and we're ashamed to say it,
Mm-hmm.
but you ain't never ashamed to sing it in a song. Have you
Okay.
ever noticed that?
Right. Well,
We
I
have no
ain't singing,
shame.
girl.
But look, when you get in the shower, don't nobody know that, you know?
Or in
When
the
you
car.
singing in the car at the red light, don't nobody know. Everybody
Right.
sings somewhere, you know? And that's what I feel like the music is supposed to do for us. It's an outlet. It's a release. Whatever you feeling in the moment, whether you sad, happy, mad, you're supposed to have a song that can help you release that. If you don't know how to say it, you got to be able to sing it.
Okay. Now, it's one thing
Yeah.
that you said in one of your songs, and I can't remember which song it was, but you said we are not the Carters. Do you remember?
That's nobody but you.
So, what made you write those lyrics? Like, we ain't the Carters, but we doing our
Honey,
thing, boo.
honey, listen. At the time, first of all, I am a big Obama fan. The
Hmm.
whole family. I love them all. I love the dog. Like, I love the Obamas. And I really wanted to put the Obamas in there, but sonically it didn't fit. So
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, who else can I say? I wanted to say the Cosbys, but I was like, nah, can't say the Cosbys because the kids ain't gonna know. The kid, and then the kids probably won't even know who I'm talking about if I say the Kaisers. They ain't gonna know. So I'm like, who would they relate to? If whose name can I say that everybody gonna know what I'm saying if I say it?
Right.
The Carters. The
Okay.
Carters are literally like that perfect couple that everybody's trying to be. They got their business together. They got their family together. She got like everything that a real woman wants to be in like characteristic wise, everything. B is her, you know? So I'm like, man, okay, I'm gonna put the Carters in there and I just hope they don't come for me for putting them in my song.
I hope they don't come for you because I did have one question that might be distasteful. And Michael, you can stop me if you see me getting started. So with you having that natural drawl as a country singer, like you have authentic country music. When you heard the
Yeah.
Carter and with the backlash of it not being selected in the country music awards, how did that make you feel as an authentic singer? I mean, as someone who's, I don't know if you're aspiring to do it, but I would think most country singers with your gift would want to do that. How did that make you feel?
I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And I adore Beyonce for taking that first step and being our sacrificial lamb
Right,
because somebody's got to do it first.
right.
And it ain't about who does it first. It ain't about who does it better. It's about who gets it done. You know what
Period.
I mean? Whether it's 5 of us, whether it's 500 of us, the successful ones will still get to celebrate. Hey, baby, can you bring me a charger? My white charger. Thank you. So I was upset when they did my girl like that. I'm not gonna lie. I try
Mhm.
to keep my personal opinions to myself and off of social media
Right,
because I don't want to start no mess. But I feel like when it came to the Carters, even with the backlash when they tried the little lawsuits and all that stuff, you know, everybody has their thing, right?
facts,
So
facts.
if we talking about the elevator, if we talking about the lawsuits, or if we talking about whatever else, okay, look in your closet and see what we can talk about you.
Okay, I don't want nobody in my closet.
You understand me? Get out of
Yes,
there. Don't
yes,
go in there.
ma'am.
That is not for you. So when it comes to like, I appreciate the examples that they set in the limelight of how
Right.
they approach things, how they deal with backlash like that. I'm still proud to say we may not be the Carters. You know, everybody got their things, and that's just what I feel like. We all gonna react how we react based on our lifestyles. You
Facts.
know, if that had happened to me and Jay, I can't say we would have reacted like the Carters because we're not
Okay.
the Carters.
No,
But you know,
I'm saved, but I
but
ain't
I'm
that
grateful that
saved.
we have those examples. You hear
Right.
me? But I'm grateful for those examples so that I know if I ever get to that point in life and wisdom kicks in, I know what that looks like. And I know
Right.
what I'm supposed to look like going through it. You know, I haven't had to deal with that personally yet. And man, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to just tackle country. Girl, I'm going for everything but bluegrass right now. I'm
Okay.
trying to hit every genre I can hit. Rock and roll. Tina Turner did rock and roll. I want to do rock and roll.
That was
You hear
one of my
me?
questions. Yes. Crossover music. Where do you see yourself?
Man, everywhere. I want you to be able to look me up. If you walk in Citgo and hear my stuff at the gas station at the pump, when you pumping your gas and the little screen pop up, I want to be everywhere. And it's
Okay.
not so much about the fame. I love the experience when people I love that experience when people first hear Southern Soul.
Right,
Like
right,
when they first hear it, or the look on their face when they've never heard of it. Man, that's
right.
such a blessing. That is such a great feeling. So that's why I want our music everywhere. Shout out to people like King George, 803 Fresh, Young Guy, Sharmika Jacquel, Jason A. Like these people, they came up in like my time era of Southern Soul. We're the young bucks, so they call us.
Right.
And every last one of us have such a different sound and such different influence behind us. Westlove, she's got the gospel thing behind her. I believe Guy has more of like an R&B feel to him. Marcellus, the singer, FPJ. We all got so many different influences behind us,
Right.
but we all Southern Soul. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait for y'all to taste all of it. That's just like going to Thanksgiving and you feel like you just gonna eat one dish. No, baby, get a piece of everything.
Okay. I love it when you sound like what you're singing about too. But again, you have such a powerful voice where you can sing Southern Soul and then go straight to blues. So with that voice control, did you
Yes.
have any type of classic teaching?
The only classic teaching I got was from my high school, West Memphis High School. I did choir. So I was blessed. I was in the 8th grade, and that was my first time ever doing actual classical choir. Girl, I came from church. Y'all know how we holler in church. Like, ain't
Right.
no breath control. Your vowels all messed up, mouth sideways. Ain't none of that right. So when I got to the 8th grade and got to get a real trainer, he was like, "Oh my God, you got this big voice, but girl, we got to shape you up." And in literally that one year, by the time I was in the 9th grade, they were having to get me and put me in a car every day to take me to the high school for practices because
Mhm.
I had advanced so much that I had been moved to the high school choir in the 9th grade. So I was blessed. Did all states and all regions and all that stuff. I got a lead song my first time going to all state. I got a lead position in it, you know?
Right.
So the classical stuff that I did get, they didn't have to take a lot of time with me because I listened very well.
Facts.
And once you teach me something, I try not to make people repeat themselves. My
Okay.
choir teacher loved that about me. So shout out to him. That's really the only trainer I've had. Um, when I have issues, maybe I reach out to certain people that I know. I have a friend, her name is Mandy Thomas. She used to be on The Voice. Me and her met when we went to The Voice together. So she's in Memphis, Tennessee now, and she has a school where she has all these teachers, I mean, all these students and stuff. She does vocal coaching. So I got people on my back like that. Like, if I have issues, I can call them and say, okay, I'm having issues. I need exercises or I need tips for this and that. But just outside of my friends in high school, I haven't had any training, just me and God, girl.
Oh, hey, God is it. That's all you need.
That's all I need.
Yes. So, and speaking of your prowess, like you have a single, I Need the Blues. What inspired that track?
Come and take me away.
Honey, because I really did need the blues. I have a best friend who is also one of my background singers. His name is Avery Mills. And if you've ever heard my country song that I mean my Christmas song that I did, Christmas in the Country, he wrote that one as well. So he gets it when I ask him for certain things. So I told him, I said, I need country, but I need blues.
Mhm.
And he was like, what? I was like, I need country, but I need Southern soul too. Like I need them together and I don't know how to do it. And he was like, "Oh, that ain't nothing. I got you." So he sends me this bass line, no joke. And the bass line went for like 5 to 6 minutes. It was long as crap.
Right.
And I had enough time to just sit there and just kind of vibe to it. And by the time I got done, I was like, you know what? This is a release song.
Oh,
This is my getaway song. This
right.
is gonna take me somewhere. And when I said take me somewhere, I said it's gonna take me away. I need
Period.
the blues to take me away. And honestly, once the concept came, I was like, okay, if I gotta go somewhere, why am I leaving? Because
Right.
I'm sick of these people. I done worked all week and I didn't go to
Okay.
jail. Like
So
that's
never
where the
leave.
words literally came from. No joke. Like if I had to say I want to get away from something, what would I be getting away from?
Mm, right. And that's
So
it.
I definitely wanted that song to hit everybody. I didn't want it to just hit our culture or a certain genre. Like I wanted that to be universal so that no matter where you heard it, it was just gonna send you in a trance. You know what she write. I do need the blues.
Yes. Well, it's interesting that you say that because when you look at the fan mail under your music, that's what they talk about is how you bring them the soul and the blues. How does that make you feel?
If it makes me feel so accomplished. You know how hard it is to have a conversation with somebody and have to repeat yourself 3 or 4 or 5 times to make them get what you're saying?
Right, right.
But then you finally find that one person like you, like me and you talking and you just get it. That's how I feel with my fans. Like, no joke. When they get it, they just get it. I don't
Right.
have to explain it. I ain't got to explain it. I don't have to talk about it. It's just like, yep, she said what she said. We knew what she
Right.
meant.
And it's real commentary. That's why I was like, oh,
Yes.
you got the goods for sure. And you got the fan base that supports you all over.
I
Now,
love them.
one of the amazing things that you have going on is that you recently signed with a label. Why is it important to have a machine backing your music as an indie artist?
Look, if you go back about a year ago, I was ranting and raving about it being an independent artist, okay? You couldn't have paid me money to sign last year, okay? But when I tell you, as soon as you tell God you're not gonna do something, he'd be like, "You sure? You
Okay.
sure that ain't what you're gonna do?"
Mm.
As soon as I said I'd never do it, it's like everything started falling apart.
Oh
I
man.
had I got to a point where I was honestly ready to quit. About December 2024, I was done.
Oh.
I ran into some bad business deals and people were taking advantage of me, and I felt like my hands were tied.
Mm-hmm.
And being independent, I didn't have anybody behind me. And I'm like, I know I got this gift and I know I have a good heart. I don't intentionally do wrong by people. So why am I stuck? And why don't I feel protected outside of me and my husband? Like who out here in the industry is really gonna stand up for me? And
Right.
shout out, I got some great big brothers in the industry that stand up for me when they see things really just getting out of hand. Cause they treat the ladies a certain way in the chitlin circus
Okay.
sometimes, you know? I got some people that stand up for me, but I don't want to have to go outside of my team for protection. I
Right.
feel like my house ought to be able to protect itself.
That's
So
right.
my husband and I prayed about it. And when he was like, "Well, baby, I feel like, when you work out and you hit your plateau." He
Mm-hmm.
said, "Baby, I feel like we've done everything we can do on our own." He said, "You've done a great job. Look what you've accomplished on your own. But at this point, as long as we know that we got somebody we can trust, we need to expand the team. We need a bigger team." So we reached out to a guy named Tracy. Tracy is my other manager. Tracy Tracy put me in some places in like 2 to 3 weeks that I hadn't been in like the 3, 4 year span I had been doing
Oh,
things,
Tracy
right?
was working.
So I'm like, he was working quick too. So I'm like, okay, my husband is not an easy person to trust people. When I saw that he was okay with Tracy, that really made me put the full throttle on, like, okay, yeah, I got somebody with me now. Tracy introduced us to another attorney, introduced me to some more producers, which led to me meeting Mr. Barry.
Oh.
Mr. Barry, I call him Mr. Barry, but I almost want to call him Dad. Like when I say this man is such a like big, like a father figure to me and my husband. Him and his wife are the dopest. The label, the team that he's put behind me, they've really like embraced us like we're family. And they
Right.
just met us this year, but they are some of the coolest people. But the best thing about it, they don't gaslight us. They
Okay.
tell us the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They're very honest with us about, because we're used to chitlin circuit and the
Right.
level that they're used to, we ain't never been there before. So there are some things that we're uncomfortable sometimes or they're new. They're so patient with us, sis. Like I know people hear bad things about labels, but
Right.
it's not the label per se, guys. It's who you let invest in you.
That's
You got
right.
to do the research on who you're doing business with. And I feel like that's where a lot of the backlash and the label thing comes from, because people don't do their research. They
Right.
don't really look into things before they get excited and just go to signing their lives away, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So I appreciate where I came from, but baby, this label where I am, honey, I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. Cause honey,
Okay.
the machine is machining. You hear me? I Need the Blues. I check my numbers, and I Need the Blues is like my number 6 song in my
Wow.
6 or 7 song right now in my catalog. And y'all, it's only been out less than a week. Friday will be a week.
Right.
So you can't tell me God ain't good, and you can't tell me that the machine won't machine.
Okay. Period. Well, when you're in alignment, everything is going to go the way it's supposed to go.
And that's how it feels right now. That's exactly how it feels.
Congratulations, Queen. So
Thank you. Thank you.
welcome. So you had a time, and this is before you signed with the label, where you
Yes.
stepped away from working full time and pursued music full time, and here we are now. So do you think that
Mhm.
this was destiny?
It was definitely ordained. Like when I cried some bad tears behind losing my job. Okay, I told y'all I was pregnant when I went through high school, so I got a job at AT&T working 40 hours a week at the age of 18 as soon as I had my son. I had
Wow.
never had less than 40 hours a week of work under my belt. Never. I would leave one job, but I wouldn't leave one job until I already had the next one lined up.
Right.
So I'm always working. When they laid me off, I felt so like helpless. I had never not had my own money. And my husband was like, I know you used to it. He said, but I really need you to trust me on something. Like, I just need you to trust me on something. He said, just take care of the house and take care of the bills and focus on school. He
Right,
said, if this is your passion, I know you're gonna put everything you got behind it and it's not gonna fail. When
right,
you put your mind to stuff, you never fail. So if you just trust me and let me do this, I got you.
right,
He had to say it that way because I come from a previous marriage. My previous marriage, I don't like talking negative on him because he is the father of my kids, but it was rocky. We were
right,
kids.
right,
It was
right,
very rocky. And I wasn't used to being able to fully rely on anybody but my daddy. Even though
right.
I love my husband that I have now, we were freshly married at the time. And
Uh,
I didn't know that we hadn't tested that part of our marriage to see if he could stomach it without me, you know?
right.
So that within itself was a test. I had to trust my husband. The head of the household, I really had to trust him
Uh,
because it was all on him. And all I had was the house and the kids. That was what I was
right.
doing. That's actually what forced me to do Southern Man, believe it or not.
Uh,
Because Father's Day came around. I was cool with being a stay-at-home mom until they wasn't cool no more because I didn't have no money. So I doubled back and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just write him a song. And I took him to a Wild 'N Out show. We both love Wild 'N Out. So I took him to a Wild 'N Out show in Dallas and I released a song for him. That was not supposed to be the hit song. I got a song called Pickup Truck. We
mhm.
were getting ready to do video shoot, put money behind it. That was gonna be the hit song. But I
Right.
looked up and Southern Man had took off without me. Like it just left me. I was like, what happened? So and it took off so fast that I didn't miss the money at that time. Like the gig started picking up my streams. My first check, my first independent check from TuneCore, I,
Right.
I have to tell this, was $56 and some change.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all don't understand. I screamed when I saw TuneCore was paying me $56. I
Right,
screamed. Never had a check before from Tune. I was getting publishing checks,
right,
but
right,
streaming?
right, right,
You mean to tell me Facebook stream and TikTok stream that much that I got $56?
right,
I was
right,
excited about that 56. So losing my job, I felt like God was like, until I make you uncomfortable and make you do this, you ain't gonna do it. You
right.
ain't gonna do it. You're not gonna trust us enough. You feel like you got to take care of yourself. You got to work. You got to do this. And all of what you're doing is getting in the way of what I got for you. So let me
Okay.
just take it.
All right. He said, take the step, and I'll do the
Yeah,
rest.
he definitely pushed me off that cliff. He pushed me.
Now, with him pushing you off that cliff, are you touring? What else do you have in the works?
Man, new music. New music, new music, new music. All of my fans know that I'm not one of those people that like to drop one single a year or a couple singles a year. Like my catalog is big because I got a lot to say.
Facts.
And every year I learn something new, which means I come up with something new to say. So I don't believe it. My husband has a little quote that he says to the band all the time. We ain't holding no music.
Right.
We ain't holding no music. Once they hear it and they feel like it fits in the show, they ready to put it out. It's nope,
Okay.
nope. We got it. The people need to hear it. Put it out. So I'm excited about Blackground has given me some extra resources.
Mhm.
So I'm able to expand my show now. So I have background singers now. I always had my band, but I got background singers now. I'm working on getting a light show added. I've got dancers now. So I'm getting to expand the show and really put my creativeness to work. Like I'm getting to stretch the boundaries now. Things that they say can't be done, I'm testing the water. So if
Okay.
y'all look up and I got a horse on stage, don't play with me.
Period.
But definitely a big show. You guys can look forward to big shows, great music, big messages, great stories. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm following the standard that the people that's going before me is setting. Like I don't want to lower the standard. That's the
Right.
biggest thing. If they're already setting the bar high, I want to raise it. I don't want to
Right.
meet them eye level. Nah, I need to be raising the bar so y'all feel like y'all got some competition, healthy
Period.
competition. But I'm coming. The girls are coming.
Well, Cecily, I can tell you right now, you've raised the bar because your vocals like are outstanding. Your
Thank
production
you.
is outstanding because that's the stuff that I listen to when I listen to music. How does the quality sound? And can you is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
like are they messing with the machines when you singing? Is it the machine or is it you? That's 100% you, Queen. So you've raised the bar.
Yes,
You've
ma'am.
done the job. Now,
Thank
with
you.
that,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. If so, okay, you got the record deal. You're touring. You never stop. You're still doing some of the things, but just on a higher caliber. So, if
Yes.
the money was in place now, what do you wish, or what do you foresee yourself being if you could afford to do that thing, whatever that may be?
Like musically,
Yes. What do you want to speak into existence right now?
right now, I want to create a home base for Southern Soul in my state. When you say Southern Soul and Southern music, they think of Texas, they think of Mississippi, the Carolinas, Georgia, even. They don't think of Arkansas. They
Right.
always think when we say Arkansas, they think of Fayetteville, the Razorbacks, country music. That's what
Right.
everybody
Right.
thinks. But man, there's such great representation of Southern Soul in my state. It
Right.
ain't just me, y'all. I can't say it's a bunch of me's, but it's a bunch of people that's like me. They got the same fire, they got the same ambition, and man, they write their music. Like I have friends that are like my background singers are my friends, and
Mhm.
they are actually artists. So I'm actually creating a space for them. I told them don't get stuck behind me. When
Right.
we're at the shows, I introduce them as who they are. I'm working a segment of my show out where they can do a mashup of all three of their songs and we can put them together so that they can perform their music in my sets. So no matter where we go, people see them as individuals, not just my background singers.
Right.
So I'm asking God to just create a door for me that'll lead to more doors for other people. That's my goal. Like the money, I ain't never go, I ain't gonna say I wasn't broke, but I wasn't in a position of desperation that I had to just get it by any means necessary.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
have such a great support system with my parents. They help me with my children. My husband is full hands on with us. So sometimes we can take L's if we choose to, just to make things happen for people. Or
Period.
it's up to us. We are strictly business, but we have heart, man. And our heart is seeing this thrive. Not
Right.
just us thrive, but we want to see this culture really shine. And whatever we can bring to the table to make that happen, we're gonna do it. It ain't no question about it. We're gonna do it. So Arkansas is coming, y'all. If you ain't heard nobody else say it, I'm telling you now. Arkansas is coming. Y'all know about Freddie. Don't get me wrong, but Freddie was a rapper. Freddie didn't sing. Arkansas got some singers. So I just need y'all to get ready.
We're ready. I like that you're a girl's girl. I like that.
Thank you.
Although you are successful, you got the deal. You making room for everybody else to grow. You don't have a I'm focusing on me right now mentality, and that is huge for
Now I
someone
do.
talented.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
That D&D, baby, that D&D will come on quick. You hear me? Not today, Satan. Not today. But in the things that I can give,
right.
right, I give freely.
Fact.
But I don't give, I guess you could say I'm not irresponsible in my
Okay.
giving.
Period. I read
Whether
between
it be
the
financially, with my time, with my spirit, or anything else. You hear me? I'll
words.
take care. I got to ask God to protect my spirit so that it doesn't get tainted. And this isn't me in the next year or the next 2 years. How I am today is how I'm asking God to keep me. So if I'm asking God to keep me, I got to leave that protection up so that He can keep me. But when I have a little extra to give, honey, I'm popping up at the school. We wiggling in the middle at the schools. I have some friends that are alumni. We do band recruitments every year. We'll go to the high school, we perform some of our music, and then we do some covers, let the kids come in, and then they start picking out instruments, and we're telling them like this is how we started. We started in the school bands, we started in the school choirs. So if you want a career in music or entertainment at all, just start somewhere. So
Right.
that's the kind of give back we're already doing. So we can take that and put it on a bigger scale. I feel like the arts will eventually come, the real arts will come back again.
Okay, well, you already there. That much I can say. And I don't say that
Thank
about
you.
everybody. I might say, oh, you sound good. No, baby, you talented. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. So Cecily, can you give our viewers the link to your website, that information,
Oh, of course.
follow you on social media?
For sure. You can always, CecilyWilborn.com will get you to all my social media. It'll get you to the music. It will get you to everything. CecilYWilborn.com. But y'all, Sir Charles, we were sitting in the room together. And you know what Sir Charles told me to do? He said, have you ever Googled yourself? I
Ooh,
said, no. Child, I Googled me and everything popped up. I said, no. So if all else fails, y'all, and you don't know where to go, Google me. This is a
Period.
saying Google me.
I have Googled you, and I'm happy to say it's great.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now you catch me after 7 o'clock, my old brain kind of shuts down, but I'm here. We're present.
Hey, I sometimes Google is the only help I have, so I get it.
Oh,
I get it.
So thank you so much, Queen, and
No,
best.
thank you for having me.
Of course, you're so much like a breath of fresh air and talent, like pure
Thank
raw
you.
talent. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Come and take me